they'll have you go put some cans inside of some bags, some grocery bags, get on your knees and face the wall and dare you to fall asleep.
What?
Yeah, that's they fuck around and find out. I
See,
I
and
was
that's what I'm
really
trying to
that
say.
good over
Like, and
there.
when we tell, like, I've had whole conversations with my parents about this, and number one, I'm either lying
Mhm.
or I'm full of the devil, a lying spirit. It
Mhm.
never happened, or it was justified.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, that's why I I appreciate the condolences, but I'm
You know
good.
something with my
I
grand
got free. 'Cause when you deal
and
with
my
that with people who
grandparents.
don't admit it happened, sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Miss
that's
Tina.
okay. No, but with the grandparents though, back in around that time, growing up in the 80s, they would get more mad at you for not telling on what the other kids would do. You know why my sister never
'Cause
got
that
in trouble
slave
and shit?
mentality. 'Cause
Cause
she
she
told
was
on
a
everybody.
snitch.
Yep,
Yep.
slave mentality. That's all they knew.
Mhm.
It's a mentality that I've seen happen in cultural revolutions in China where they make
Mhm.
everybody each other's enemy.
Mhm. And now it's just so crazy how people are so quick to pick up the phone to call the police on people for inappropriate reasons or on people that they never even met in life type shit. Like I can't even fathom like how do you sleep at night? You know what I'm saying?
You
Somebody
know,
could turn around and do the same thing to you. Like I don't
that's
get
the
that.
thing. You got to
That's
know, like,
evil.
think about, okay, so we're here talking about Jaguar Wright, right? And we're supposed to be
Yeah.
celebrating her being incarcerated, but it's still a very serious, heavy thing. Think about the
Yeah.
fact that for the last month, all just the last 30 days, wouldn't you
Hmm.
be worn out?
Girl.
One would think.
She's been, she got arrested that first time. And speaking about that first time, her saying that they George Floyded her is so
I'm offended.
offensive.
I'm
Oh
offended.
yeah.
It,
As a
Yeah.
black American, as a person who's been in
exactly.
that battle with police officers before, where they have assaulted me and I was pregnant,
Hmm.
you know, like, come on, George Floyd?
Like
Really?
You was
that's
pregnant
offensive.
with Popo?
Yeah, I got pregnant during our last uprising, the night
Oh
we
my
shut shit down.
goodness.
Yep. I
Oh
got pregnant
wow.
that night. My baby is a revolutionary baby. That's why I just
That's
take it with a
right.
grain of salt when she's naughty. She was made the night that Keith Lamont Scott was killed.
Mm.
Oh wow.
hmm We shut shit down and then went home and shut shit down. But anyway,
Yeah, but you
enough
know what? But
enough
that's what
about me.
a lot of the like the problems or issues that's among like the our community or whatever right now is behind snitching or a person not wanting to tell on another person or a person deciding to tell on another person because somebody told them to do it and then they trying to do it discreetly and then somebody still tells so it's like it's weird it's weird.
Well, the thing is,
I'm
we have
sorry
a
you try and kill me, you try and hurt my family. uh I'm going to tell. That's all
Right.
it is to
well,
it.
the thing is, we have and this is just my opinion, okay? I don't have nothing to back this up, no anthropology or nothing. But we have a population of people who are genetically supposed to be getting ready for war at all times, and we
Hmm.
never let them fight the enemy, so they turn in
Hmm.
on themselves.
Hmm.
In my
That's what it
opinion,
looks. That's
That
what it seems
makes
like.
sense. That makes sense.
because after we allowed those kids to fuck those police officers up that night, we never had a problem with them shooting each other.
Nope.
And I told the police officers it was gonna happen. I said, I've been holding these kids back for about 10 years. They ready to get y'all, and y'all keep fucking with us. I'm gonna let them go at some point, and the next night, go
Isaac,
get them.
please leave me alone, man.
Isaac, come
Lay
here
it
and say hi
down
to your
already.
mama. Come here,
The
Isaac.
fuck?
Isaac, come sit on TT's lap. Come here, Isaac.
I'm about to put him in jail.
Isaac want to hang out with whoever gonna get him some attention right now.
Girl, shoot, I'm trying. I don't. I'm girl. I kind of got a little taste of OCD. Like I can half-ass clean up. It got to
Girl,
be
when you had them
half-ass cleaned up for
dogs,
me to go to bed. I can't
girl, I'm
leave
the
my
same
kitchen looking
way.
crazy.
I gotta clean up before I go to bed. I
Hmm.
do. I do, because I live in a multicultural neighborhood.
And don't let me be talking to
Are you in
somebody and
spirit?
they spend a night or something for the first
Hmm.
time and they like, damn, come sit down. You always cleaning. I look
I
at them
do.
like they fucking crazy. Like, who
Always
raised you?
cleaning.
I
Yep.
feel you on that. I feel you. I have
Why
Always
family
you
in
organizing.
burnt
Glendale.
all these candles for me, nigga? It's always a candle burner. I pay like $15, $20 for my
Girl, I
candle.
love me some candles, especially
Hmm.
lavender.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh my
lavender.
God. That's crazy, y'all. I
What?
remember when I left one of my apartments in China because the man was being
Oh
horrible
no,
to me.
girl.
I left with a bunch of beans on the floor. So when he opened I left the beans on the floor, the dry beans, and I turned off the lights. Well, he had shut the power
Mm.
off. That's what happened. He shut the power and the lights off.
Who did this?
Uh, this was when I lived in China. A landlord, an issue I was having with my school and my landlord. Somebody, it's a long story. Somebody had taken over my school
Okay.
and tried to change my contract. And I wasn't having it. I was supposed to be leaving to move to India. And so they made the landlord turn the power off to try to get me out the apartment. But I saw it coming because I'm in the spirit. I was already packed. I had
Mm.
a hotel booked in Shanghai and everything. And so when I left the apartment, I told them, he turned off the power and demanded from me the rent for the month. At that
That's
moment, I was like, well,
dirty.
let me call my husband. So I told him I called my husband. I told him my husband was wiring me some money and I had to go to the bank and get it. And I just had a car take me to Shanghai because I'm a bad bitch. And so anyway, what I did though was I left the apartment with the lights. He turned the lights off. So I put some dry beans on the floor and he called me when he opened the door.
Nah.
He was on video chat because he was trying to figure out where I went with his rent money. Well, you put me out for nothing. Like,
And not only that,
Oh,
girl,
that
he
shit was
stupid.
turned
probably
off.
looking like Home Alone. I would have been dying
Girl,
You
I
know,
laughing.
saw it. It was hilarious.
you
It was
know,
like he just disappeared.
in the
Mm.
United States, you can't force somebody out by turning off the power and all that. So I don't know how it
Yes, you
is in
can.
China.
Yes, you can. You legally can do that. I've checked.
In
Yes, you
some
can.
states you can, but not
Hmm.
all.
In
Not
Arizona,
all of
you
them.
can legally do that. You
In
can turn
Arizona,
off the
you can.
power and the water to get a person out of an apartment or a home that they're
Girl,
not supposed to
get
be
out of here.
in. Hmm.
I thought they have mandatory electricity for the AC, or is that during certain seasons?
Not here. Not
Hmm.
here. Now, in colder places like Ohio or something like that, I've seen that. But here, no, there's no. You on
Girl,
your own. You ain't seen all these people living on the street.
I know in Vegas it's mandatory electricity.
Girl, unemployment here, the max is $143 a week. Why you think I went and got a job? The
the
That's
max
max.
it.
is
That's the max pay.
$143.
That's the max pay.
The
Girl,
max.
remind me not to
Damn.
move there and lose a
It's
job.
$800 in the state of Minnesota.
My
Mm.
It's
cousin
six
was
hundred
trying.
dollars in California.
I was about,
It's a
yeah, I didn't want to be telling my
one
business because I
hundred. No,
get
I'll
part
tell you because
time.
I came back to it. We were lucky when we came back. Me and Miss Naders, we back to it, and it had just been sitting here compiling for us. So me and Miss Naders
Yeah.
came back and bought cars and all type of shit.
Wait a
We
minute.
were
My
lucky.
cousin was trying to get me to transfer from Chicago, from Southwest, from Chicago to Arizona. I'm so
Hmm.
glad I did not do that.
I know you are.
Cause see, I got family.
It's
Well, I grew up in Chicago, but I got
mhm.
family in Glendale, Arizona, and I got family in Long Beach and San Pedro.
Mm. I love St. Peter
So
Cruise out of.
it took me 5 months for them to finally approve my damn unemployment.
I
They
bet you
took
got
me
a whole
through
bunch of
hell.
money though.
Hell yeah.
I bet you got a whole because I came back to $28,000.
Yeah, yeah. And plus,
Hmm.
I had got something else that had came through, so I'm I don't really have to really work right now, but
That's
I
what I
do.
mean when I say like we always orchestrate things in a certain way. Like when I
Hmm.
say that because no way that if me and Miss Naders had come back to America the way that we had to come back for the pandemic, if it wasn't like that, let's just say our schools went out of business and we had to come back, we wouldn't have been
Hmm.
able to restart. We literally were able to restart because the pandemic happened and our country had this money.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a reset button. But you know
Well, it
what?
was time
A
for us
lot
to
of
leave
my
China
homegirls,
anyway.
I when I was trying to tell them, like, remember they was doing the gig worker unemployment. I
Hmm.
had told one of my homegirls,
I
I was like,
did.
well, you know, unemployment is only 99 weeks, and she was like, why you being an mf and hater? Just cause your man take care of you and buy you clothes and shit and da da da. I said, bitch, what the fuck? I'm trying to tell you because you gonna probably end up with something in the mail saying you're gonna have to pay that money back, or they gonna mess with your whatever other benefits you got going on.
If you don't,
But
if you
I'll
don't hide your
digress.
income,
Yeah,
yeah,
don't you
people
got
don't know.
Section 8, girl?
Girl, they checking everything. If you got a social security, that's why, when I came to Arizona, I've never been too good for food stamps, but I've never been able to get them. Okay, I've applied for food stamps everywhere, and I've made too much
Yeah,
money.
they kicked me off of
And
those. I thought I was doing something.
they sent me an application here in Arizona. They wanted so much documentation
Hmm.
that I said, with DoorDash, I make $20 an hour. You're literally taking money out of my pocket with the amount of paperwork I need to gather for $100 a month in food stamps.
$100.
Mm.
And you have a child.
And niggas say I'm
Well,
too
they don't
independent.
care. Well, you know what? They are supposed to give you
I'm too
a
independent.
stipend though for your daughter.
Well, I'd have to give her a social security number, and we're not gonna do that.
Oh, that's what I was saying. It's just you then. Yeah,
Yeah, we're not gonna. I'm not selling her to the country. No,
I
I'll
heard
wait till
that.
she can benefit with credit or something. Right now, the country gets paid for every one of us that has a social security number from other countries and everything else. Y'all know in some way, shape, or
Hmm.
form. So I'm not about to put my daughter in that position. And I've never ever, because there's all kind of things that are available to her, but I'm not gonna
Right.
sell my
Hmm.
child. Not right now. There's no need. We don't
Hmm.
need the extra $200 that much.
Okay, yeah. I
We
get
can
you.
buy a box of ramen noodle and not have to
But
sell our
but you
our,
know what?
our
But if
soul.
if these bras, if they really want to get on their gangster stuff, if you trying to go back to school, I would go put my kids on Medi-Cal and get that gang going. You know what I'm
Huh.
saying? So girl, better work that while you can, cause they probably gonna end up taking that away.
Oh, I can't go back to school. I already have a master's degree,
Yeah,
and
I
I
know.
left. Well,
You
I
heard
left
what
the
I
country
said.
with my loans, thinking I was never coming back.
Nah, that's why I said what I
Look,
said. I said these girls
surprise.
are
My
smart.
bitches are in default. So listen, I literally am blessed. I'm so blessed because I was raised to understand that if you need credit, you can't afford it. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
just built my life around it. Plus, I own a business. I don't even use my personal credit. Waka Flocka confirmed that for me. I was scrolling one night and I had got this anointed moment that told me I need to start an LLC. And
Mm-hmm.
Waka Flocka was on the Breakfast Club, and all I heard him say was, "Start an LLC." And I did, and it freed me up so much. When I tell you
Baby.
that,
Mm.
because you're expected to carry debt when you own a
Get
business.
out of here.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah, that
You're
Let
makes
me
expected
sense.
to. If you don't carry debt,
repent.
as a matter of fact, until I had a certain amount of debt, Bank of America wouldn't even open an account for me.
Really?
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
Hmm. Yep.
Did
And
you
You're
I
get
expected
know,
you
to.
didn't get student loan forgiveness?
girl,
No, that shit went into default. I was gone. I was gone.
Mm.
my
Listen,
student
I'm not worried about
loans.
that though. If you ask me, I got my education for free.
I heard that. You don't even have
Well,
to
no,
go
my
into
mom and dad did
detail.
pay for the first 3 years, and I got like $26,000 in loans and my master's, and probably close to about $50 or $60,000 worth of education that I'd like to say I got for free. But I call that reparations.
That's why I'm so proud of my daughter because she got the full ride scholarship. She got to stay in the dorm.
I just
All
realized my
that.
mama ain't never paid her degrees. She died. She see what my
Wow.
mom used to do was she she got put out of a school because she was taking too long to get a master's. And the
No
reason she
way.
was taking so long to get a master's was so she didn't have to pay for her bachelor's.
They can do
And
Mm.
that?
so she went ahead and finished her master's, but then she started a PhD program and was just taking her time. When my mother passed away, she was still in that PhD program. She never paid back any of her student loans. And her undergraduate, her associate degree, she got for free because she worked for the college.
Mm.
Her and my dad. So I guess free education runs in my family.
They was
I
getting that
heard
good
that.
financial
If
aid.
you gon' if you gonna steal, if you gonna scam, scam like this.
Yeah. So she
Well,
was like,
girl,
she was doing school work, like working for the school and going to
No,
school
she
part
actually
time.
she was a secretary. She was a
okay.
Oh,
secretary
yeah.
in
So
the
she's working at the
development
school.
office. She worked in school
Yep.
full time. It was her full time job, and part of the benefit was a free education with 15% off books.
Well, I
Mm.
You
had to
know,
get on my great nephew because my nephew was in the military, and he
That
got
good GI
wounded.
Bill.
Right. And my great nephew's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go to school." I said, "Boy, you better get that education
Mm-hmm.
while you
not
can."
I don't care if you have to cheat. Listen to me very closely. I told my godson, because I have a godson, bitch. Not y'all. She
You
know who I'm
didn't
talking
just
to.
pick him up off the street or at the Greyhound
I was there when
station.
he was born. I gave his mama the
Oh,
castor oil to boost her labor because she was getting on my motherfucking nerves.
oh, I thought you just picked godchildren up at Greyhound stations. Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
Or
Okay, go ahead.
meet them on TikTok and act like you don't know them for 3 months.
Yeah. Okay, I was wrong. I didn't realize that, when they're babies and then you go to church and stuff. I thought that was a myth.
That
Okay, but go ahead.
christening and all the
Yeah.
ceremonies and all the
Oh, this
times that
stuff is
they mama
real.
call you because they need something. His mama ain't never needed nothing from me. She is a bad bitch. I love her.
Mm.
His mama ain't
Oh.
never
Nothing.
asked me for nothing. She in the boy got to be 22 years old. She ain't never asked me for nothing.
Yeah, same with my godson. He's 27. I've never had to
That's
do anything.
good.
I mean, now I'll tell you though, she know and I know I'm here for it.
Right, exactly.
Usually, if she's asking me for something, it's like Tamarius is struggling in school. I need you to get in his ass. That's what she asked me for.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
she asked me for. And you know what the advice I give my Tamarius? Because we had struggles with our first time taking our senior year, and we didn't do
Mm-hmm.
very well because we didn't take it very seriously. We thought because we were a nerd that meant we were smart, but it's not the same.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
And so we
exactly.
missed the opportunity to finish our first senior year. So when we took our second senior year, I said, "Nigga, you better get in there and cheat with every motherfucking thing you got.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
Pay
You better not
somebody to
get."
do your homework.
Shh, I can't tell you how many papers I wrote for people for $20.
I
And then I
feel
would
you.
listen. I said, "You better cheat. This is the second go round. It don't matter what your integrity looks like this time. We gotta
Okay.
win. We gotta win."
At all
And the dominant
costs.
society don't give a fuck about integrity. They wanna win.
Girl, when I was in high school though, if you got held back and we knew you was a senior last year, girl, we would tease the fuck out of you.
Girl,
Like,
who are
oh,
you
your big
telling?
grown ass is still here. I thought you was a senior.
We never
You
Girl.
20
did.
years
You know who
old
would
and you
tease?
still a senior?
You know who was teasing them in my community? It was our
Hmm.
parents teasing that child. It was our parents saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Who let that big motherfucker play on the football team? Y'all know he 19."
Girl, we
Josh
used to.
Harris, Joshua Harris. There was one boy that graduated. When he graduated, the whole stadium stood up. My high school graduation, this white boy, he had to be like 27. And when I graduated from college, it was this dude named Steve. It was this dude named Steve who had been in high school. He had been in Jackson State since Walter Payton. And
Oh
they
my
let him stay
god.
because he was good. He was good in the band. And
Girl,
when I tell you when he graduated, the whole city showed up.
He must have not
girl,
been
stop
doing no
it. He was
homework.
Girl,
a
I had a friend like
legendary
that
one, huh?
named Shakira. She was like a fourth year senior for like 7 years.
Oh,
I could not.
Them
I
student loans
no.
pay though. It's a scam.
Mm-mm.
Them student
No.
loans give you a nice little refund. You could pay your rent for about 6 months and you get a job.
Well,
Work hard enough to stay in
that's
school.
I'm thinking you talking about some high school shit.
well, you know what's
But
funny?
even in college though.
If I
Mm-mm.
grew up with this dude, right? Like I grew up with him, literally. We lived in the same neighborhood all our lives. My parents are still in the same neighborhood. So, anyway, this dude was a senior like twice, and
Mm.
we out of
Go for it.
school, and
Never
everybody
quit quitting.
remembers when he graduated. Oh, you graduated in 1990, and he's
Mm.
like, "Yeah, I'm 51." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Dude, you are 54." He's like, "No,
Mm.
I'm 51. I'm 51. I'm
Oh,
50."
he lying about his
Yeah,
age.
because of when he graduated. Nah,
You
bruh,
gotta
I
forgive
know how old
yourself.
you are.
Well, we can always rewrite our own story. Listen,
Girl, yeah, I had a
it
guy.
needs
He was
somebody like you who bring people to reality. Be like, I remember you when.
Wait, I got the best memory. My
get
friends
your
are always like, "You always
get
gotta
him.
remember something." I'm like, "Yup, I so do."
No,
Shout outs to your
I
memory.
had a guy, he was 20 years old in my class, and I graduated at 17. I used to look at him like, you are stupid. 'Cause I used to
Yeah,
look at him
that's not
like he was
attractive,
slow. Like, yeah, like I was just so unattracted to that shit. Like, how you
girl.
20 years old and you still in high school? And this is 11th grade. You know what I'm saying? I was in homeroom, so it was 11th and 12th grade. It said 11th grade on his paper. I said, this is crazy.
Oh no,
He was
And they
11th
be
20
keeping
grade.
them
years
niggas
old
around
in
because they
the
be on the
11th
wrestling
grade.
team and shit. They be on the wrestling team, and so they keep them around. They got the teachers that kind of push their grades through a little bit.
That's
They make money
crazy.
for the school. They prostituting them boys. They not
And
Mm.
employable.
at the high school parties, they clowning them, but they have him come because he could buy the alcohol.
Hmm.
Yep.
Poor guys.
And I
That's why
mean,
it
he
don't pay to be
did. He look.
dumb.
I think he even had a little bucket car, if I'm not mistaken.
Not a
You know what I'm
bucket.
saying? He was like a literal, like grown,
Grown.
young man. And I would just be so intrigued, like, how you? He was like, well, it was either this or my mama was gonna make me go to continuation. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
mean
started
more
hanging out on the
education?
block, huh?
You mean your mom was gonna make you go to school?
Yeah, he said he was gonna have to go to continuation school or go back to the to
That
the
didn't
high
sound like a
school.
bad idea.
Wait a
Yep.
minute. Speaking I'm sorry. Gumba's born
Hey
in
Rosetta.
1984. He's still in his 30s.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
He's born in 84.
Yes,
So
my
that would
nephew
be
is older than him.
Mhm.
84. Let me see.
My nephew's born in 81. And he's
To
42. He'll be
me,
So
42.
he's like
to
35.
to me, somebody in their 30s is maybe I don't want to say a kid, but like especially a man in his 30s.
He's still trying to figure it
Not a
out.
man. Yeah, like a man in his 30s, you don't want to mess with that. You don't want to touch that.
Yeah, if they
He's
don't have no type of good job already assessed or something going on for themselves.
Well, they
See,
got too many options. Their nuts haven't
right.
really fully dropped yet. They still got too many
Hmm.
options, especially in this day and age. when everything is at the touch of a finger.
Hmm.
84 is 38.
But you know what it was,
Not
Jaguars.
with
She
men.
sold him a dream. She sold him a lot of hopes and dreams, and he was believing it because some of that shit was working.
Well,
You
cause
know what
He
I'm
she
was
saying
going to
with
be
he's
that
not,
Mr.
bullshit.
cause he's
Jaguar
lazy and
Wright.
cause he's not ambitious. He's lazy.
Right,
See,
right.
the
He
only way
was,
you can scam a person is when they're greedy.
Yep.
yeah, I got you.
Bernie Madoff and them, the only way they could get away with, thank you for understanding what I'm trying to say, because the only way a person can get
That's a
over on you
perfect
like that is when
example.
you're greedy.
Right.
Yep.
I know, I get it.
He thought he was going to, 'cause remember he said what marriage, and then he remembered the business.
Hmm.
He
He
thought he
was,
was going to get rich.
he was going to be Mr. Jaguar Wright.
He never had a problem with her being who she was as long as it was bringing in money.
Right.
Yep.
But the thing is, he didn't realize is that she ruined her name in the business world. I don't know if you heard what her cousin said. The whole reason Jaguar is bitter is because, like with Jay Z and Puffy, is that she had done a song,
Hmm.
and she did it. She had done it live, and it was good. She was really good. But when it came to the album, they put Mary J. Blige on it,
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
It
and
that
happens
then
was
all
supposed to
the
be the
time.
song that was
and
gonna
then
take off for her.
after that, yeah, it really took off with Mary. I mean, Jag was good, and he said it. She was really good, but Mary, on the album, like it really sold, and then that was it for Jag, and that's why she is so bitter.
You know why that
Hi,
doesn't make any sense to
Rosetta.
me? Because every single day we go to work,
Hmm. Preach it, girl.
full stop,
Hmm.
full fucking stop. Every day we go to work, we get up and we go to work. I don't think
Mhm.
there's a person, 133 people here, anybody who doesn't work, God bless you. But most of us in here, I'm pretty sure the reason why I do this on Sunday nights is because we work all week.
I mean, even if you
What's
don't clock in somewhere, a hustle is work. Okay,
work
Right.
is work.
work is work.
And this bitch sat here, she's had every excuse. At first, she wasn't working a lot because she didn't want to have to give Sam child support.
Mhm. Right,
Now she mad, she butthurt. You know, I gained 9 pounds 1 week and stopped working out for like 3 years. That doesn't even make sense.
girl.
Do you understand what I'm saying when I talk about karmic
Right.
cycles?
Yeah.
Karmic
Yep.
cycles and
Yep.
realizing it's me.
Right.
Well, she's not gonna take no accountability.
So eventually I realized I really don't want to work out, so I stopped. And I just was like, I'll eat right. Whatever my body looks like is what it's gonna look like. And I happen to still look very, very delicious. I'm so lucky. But she
Very
Girl.
but
fat
she doesn't
girl.
have that same luck when it comes to finances.
Well, them
So she gotta do
the
what the rest of
game.
us do.
Yeah, the game that they was running got good to them. Like you said, greedy get you got.
Quick money.
But
Yeah, the
did it
fast
get, do
money.
you think it ever was good to them? Because I feel like they
The
try a
standards are low.
scam, it fails, and then she tries another one and
Low
it
What's
fails.
lives.
good to them is not what's good to us. Okay?
I couldn't do it. My pride is too. You
I
know what I'm
would be
saying?
tired and
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
embarrassed.
It take too much energy for all
it
that.
does. Yeah. Because even at some point I had to stop door dashing and grub hubbing.
Why?
Because I was making $1,000 a week. That shit wears you out.
Well, I bet all that driving and people probably
Traffic and
rushing and
people and
yeah.
all it's physically not kept me fit. Like I looked great, but like at the end of the day, I was done. And at some point, I was
Mhm.
like, "This is blue collar work." I went to college.
Right.
Mhm.
I feel you.
That's an awesome
I've
side
done a
hustle
lot of
though.
great jobs. I've done a lot of great jobs. When I moved to California, not California, when I moved to North Carolina, I worked for Colgate, but my
Mhm.
job didn't start for like a couple weeks. I
Mhm.
dug ditches with a temporary company on a day labor job. I'll do a job now. But at some point, I got to be like, well, I think the market's kind of getting to where I can go ahead and do something else.
No, I totally understand because my bachelor's is in public relations. I started at Southwest Airlines when I my last semester of college, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
I stayed there because I'm single. I mean, this is back, okay? I'm not there anymore, but I stayed there because I was single, flight benefits. I could fly free on Southwest anywhere. I
And
could fly
perks.
on other airlines for pretty much just tax. Yes, it's standby, but I'm single. I'm not going with the whole family, but still, like my parents, they had the same benefits if I had children. Then I had like I could give someone else a pass that they could
Day
Companion
fly
passes and
pass.
for,
stuff.
yeah, a
Mhm.
companion pass they could fly 4 times a year, and then also you could win passes, and and then also I got discounts on cruises and
Mhm.
Wow, I didn't
hotels.
even know all that was with. I need to find a
That's the
U.S.
only
Navy,
incentive because they
a
don't pay
Navy
you nothing
Federal
till you
man, and a Southwest man. Well, I don't fly Southwest.
you
Right.
No
gotta
gay
work
shade.
But what I'm
10
saying, I
years
didn't have to fly
to make
Southwest.
money.
I could fly Delta, I could fly United, I could fly,
Yep, you could fly
because
any
it's
airline.
it's it's inner travel, it's
Yep.
so it's just like, I stayed because the perks. Was single, you know, so it's like, and then I was making good money, but
Hmm.
at the same time, it's like, man, my bachelor's is in is in marketing with a focus in public relations, and after a while, I was like, I do want to do that, so I worked at Planet Hollywood in the public relations department.
Oh wow. I
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah,
to get into public relations. I just don't feel like I was diplomatic enough, so I chose broadcast production because I could be a little bit more behind the scenes. But I
I
do wish
definitely
that I had
understand.
done more work in public relations.
yeah,
I
and
do
people
wish I
be
had.
thinking you make so much money at the airline. You got to tenured out. Well, at United, you had to work
Mm.
there for 10 years to make top pay. So you'll get like the quarterly raises, but you had to
Hmm.
be there for 10 years to make like to get up to a $20 an hour pay period. I'm like, y'all
So
only paying
that's
us ten
why.
dollars an hour.
Well,
Girl,
you
No,
I
know,
done had stewardesses on United just tell me how tired and worn out they were in first class. And you get to talking and you be like, why you look so tired? And she be like, now you realize it take them 10 years to make top pay?
well, it's funny. It's like my family out. Like my head. Let's see, two, three,
you heard what I
three,
said.
four family
That's
members, four
crazy.
other family members that work for Southwest Airlines. I have a cousin that works for Delta, a cousin that works for United. So like we were all in
Y'all had
let's
it
see,
going on.
two are flight attendants, and then my cousin, one of my cousins that worked for Southwest, she was in reservations, but then she ended up being a union steward.
Mm.
So then the rest of us were in reservations, and my one cousin retired. She has lifetime benefits, and then also with our 401k, I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember how much they matched us, but it was
I
like
think it
a
was
That's a
good
over.
nice
It
amount.
was like a
compensation
hundred and
plan.
50% or something like that at
Yeah,
United.
they matched us.
Wow.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, and
Wow.
then I didn't
Yep.
have to pay for my health care at all.
Great health
Don't tell me I
benefits.
need to go work for the airline because they told me the other
Girl,
day if you
But
don't
you
like
gotta
it.
take that low ass pay grade at the beginning. You'll
at
probably be
the
making
beginning,
like shit $12 an hour right now in
No,
California
I'm sorry. I can't do that.
to
girl,
start.
Do that.
Yep.
it can't be that low still because I started, girl, in the 90s at 8. So it has to be
Not in
higher
the
than 12.
90s. She
Yeah.
muted herself. She must have some dogs fighting. Navy Federal. Somebody gave me their Navy Federal referral number too. Um,
Navy Federal,
girl,
people they be trying to get you to sign up for that bank and all this and all that and
it's a
tell you
good
all these
bank.
great incentives or whatever. But shit, they don't play. And you be like, okay, go on and sign me up and you
Blood
forget to
in, blood
deposit
out.
some money or something. They'll cancel that account. It only take $5. So they be like, we took your $5 and you owe us 15 annual
Blood in, blood
annual
out.
fees. You like, dang.
Man, I'm trying
Navy
to get
Federal
one.
don't play.
Wait, why were y'all having to use Navy Federal?
Oh, they have amazing accounts. They're just an amazing bank, and it's hard to get in. You have to be sponsored.
Right,
And I have a
Okay.
right.
sponsor. I have a sponsor. As a matter of fact, I need to reach out. I have a sponsor. I've just been waiting because I've got a couple other accounts that are new, and I just
Okay.
want to make sure that that's the right thing to do right
Are
now.
you gonna do a personal or business or both?
I was gonna do a personal to start.
Okay, yeah, because they do like car loans.
hmm And
Um,
then, I was thinking about actually just going ahead and doing the business account to start because
I
I
would.
never, yeah, I've not had a personal bank account in over 10 years, to be honest with you. I just opened a personal bank account with Morgan Stanley recently just because, I can't keep running my business so close to my personal finances.
Exactly.
I'm too rich. At some point you can't do that.
And
So
Wells Fargo could go to hell.
I
I'm
used to
with
bank with them.
Chase.
I was with them, girl. That was my first bank. I had got my first card. I was so proud of that little card. And then, when I started making my little money, I put my money, deposit my little extra money with babysitting, whatever I would do. I would go
That's
deposit
awesome.
it, watch my account rise. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what
then,
you're supposed to do.
the more money you make, the more money they take. And I would all of a sudden just seem like one day I was constantly cussing their asses out. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell what are you guys
$15 a month.
doing? Girl, they
That's
charge
why
you
I
for
just opened
everything.
That's why I just opened up these personal accounts because I've been with E-Trade for years as an investor, but I never used their bank products. And they shot me a little email and was like, "Hey, we do 3.5% interest on a savings account." And I
Oh,
said,
that's
"What?"
good. That's a low
I
APR.
said, "You talking about 3.5 on a savings account? Most savings accounts only get half
Wow.
of a percent, if that." And
But
so
that's
I
low
started
though.
diverting a lot. No, 3.5% interest, which means they pay you 3.5. Most bank accounts, most savings accounts only pay you like a half of a percent.
You have to
That
have a
you don't.
minimum in there, or is it just whatever you
No
have in?
minimum, no nothing, no monthly payments, no nothing.
That's
Mm,
great.
I said, sign me the fuck up because I invest with E Trade, and I have a
Okay.
separate I have an account for money that my dividends always go back into my investments, but I also have an account set up where I just throw cash in there, so if I see something I want, I can get it. You know how
Right.
we do.
mm-hmm.
People do that with
Got
shopping. I
like
do
a
that with
little cushion.
investments. Yeah, I
Right.
do that with
Hmm.
investments. People do that with shoes and shit. I do that with money.
Nah. You want to keep
Uh,
them red bottoms? I'll go buy some heels and
I
spray some red spray on the bottom of them
yeah,
motherfuckers
I like
before
to.
I go spend that much on a goddamn shoe. I'm sorry.
Listen, I have investment accounts all over the place. And when I have a little extra money, I throw some money in my investment accounts just in case. Just like I got an email this week that Apple's a good buy right now, even though I'm not quite sure about that because they don't pay
Yeah.
a high enough dividend. But um, just in case I decide I want to go buy a fractional shares or a share, it's only down to $109 right now. And I bought
Mm.
Apple at 356 a few years ago. So
I know
um,
the Apple stock.
there's a tip.
It didn't do too well. What
Dividends.
2020 and 2021, the beginning of the year.
Uh-uh. I sold all of
I'm
my
gonna
Apple
beat your
stock
ass.
by 2020. When we left China, I sold the last of my Apple stock and I haven't bought it
I
back.
don't blame you.
No, it's not a good stock. See, there's some stocks that are good to buy. They're like to me I call them fashion stocks to say you own it. I own Tesla, but these stocks don't
Hmm.
grow. They don't move.
Well, I was told the best stocks, if you do want to like try it out or whatever, you should like deal with somebody that is in the stock exchange that you can trust or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And have like or
Mhm.
have them teach you the
Get an
ropes.
advisor. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to get
a
an advisor.
financial advisor. And
Especially if you're dealing with serious money, because I'm working on
right,
something right now that's going to result in a certain amount of money, and I've
right.
already got a financial advisor.
Well, the best thing to be trying is resources like like oatmeal, oats, dairy
Yep,
Quaker
products,
Oats.
yep.
natural resources,
Natural raw
petroleum
materials,
jelly.
wood, pork
Yeah,
bellies,
stuff that
metals,
people are going to be needing
steel,
in an
hmm
emergency situation.
raw materials. Just stay away from
Right.
gold right now, but raw materials. Absolutely. See, I choose to invest my money in EFTs
What
because
is?
they're actually an EFT is an electronic trade fund. So what it is instead of me going and finding these stocks that are successful, I
Uh-huh.
buy into a stock that buys into thousands or hundreds of stocks that are
It's like
successful,
a parent stock, and you invest.
so to speak, but they always pay dividends. And I find the ones that pay the highest dividends because y'all own a lot of stocks that never pay you. But a dividend
Mm-hmm.
actually pays you. That's why when we were leaving China, you guys donated all that money to us. We were able to leave on first class because when y'all donate that money to us, I immediately invested it into EFTs that raise dividends. And see, what y'all don't
Mm.
realize was that was the best time to buy because the money was bad,
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to buy money literally.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when I sold that money back, I got money back, so we were able to do what we needed to do in fashion. But with EFTs, most of them pay, all of them pay dividends, but they're successful. They don't go
Did,
like this.
did you guys
Very
hear?
successful.
Did you hear
S&P
that?
500 is one.
Now
Go
check
ahead, I'm sorry.
this. Did you hear that Kanye is supposed to be renegotiating with Adidas
Hmm,
again?
No,
I
I
heard
didn't
that
know
like
that.
2 days ago.
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, this
Oh,
Jaguar
McDonald.
bullshit had me distracted, so I wasn't able to read the article. But yeah,
He used to be negotiating with Adidas
Well, he's
again.
been quiet, so maybe they're like, okay, well, we can work with you because you don't kept your mouth shut. You've been out of the spotlight for the most part.
they want that money for them damn Yeezys he be
But
Yeah, they
would
designing.
lost.
you
They
do?
lost a lot of
I think
money.
he's I think he's probably thinking about legalities. I don't think he wants to go back into
Mm,
business with them because they tried to steal his intellectual
his
property.
patent. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
you don't you but then he found out he didn't really own it For real, for real. Cause can't nobody steal
You
something you own.
you
For
know,
real, for real.
remember his best friend that took the position that he wanted, allegedly at Louis Vuitton, that passed away.
Yes.
I
Guess
didn't
who
know
got
about that.
his guess who got his position a few days ago?
Hmm.
I know who it is, but I can't even think.
For real.
Hmm.
Skateboard, for
I've
real,
never
the
known Pharrell
producer.
to be a fashion
I Yes,
guy.
you're right.
Yes.
You're talking about Virgil Abloh. Abloh. I can't even say his last name. Was who passed away.
Yep,
Hmm.
Virgil. Yep, they called him Verge. Yeah. Virgil, the tall guy.
Yeah,
I
he
Yeah.
don't see
started off
Pharrell for
white.
this. I don't get it. I don't understand
Well,
why
you know,
Pharrell.
they remember they tried to say that he changed. Like, remember when he came out, like he came with that skateboarder look with like the Vans, and he the one that kind of like
You mean
ushered
he
in them
dressed
damn
like a white
skinny
boy?
jeans.
He dressed like a
Well,
white
as
Yeah.
boy.
much as I love Pharrell, as I think he's a cool guy, but like even his Adidas, it's just all beige or pink. I
He's
mean,
not.
it's
He's one dimensional. Have
He's
you seen
not
his
fashionable
houses?
to me.
Like he's
no.
not fashionable. He owns one hat.
That fedora. I mean,
Oh yeah, like the one Sean Davy Wade has.
girl,
Yeah,
I'm
he owns one
I didn't
hat. Like
say that.
Wait a minute. Did you see how Perry dressed up earlier?
I was on the floor.
which
Girl,
time?
Today, girl, he had on a
them
fedora
costumes is
and some pearls.
everything. Oh,
He. I don't know why. My YouTube is
them
auto playing to
costumes
his
is
channel
it,
in the the
girl.
wigs. He
That
what was that?
man is a
Was that
genius,
Legina's wig he wore earlier with
Yeah,
the
he
blue
was supposed to
bandana?
be
girl.
Legina. Yeah, girl,
Remember the
he's
first,
been
girl? It was greasy and everything, and it
he's
was cut
been
straight. He
jagged.
did it himself too. I said he ain't playing.
He was
He is not
jagged.
playing. He said y'all ain't gonna talk about my wife behind this bitch.
Yeah, that's why he's been getting on him because Jag did a lot of stuff to his wife, but
Yeah.
um, he
That's
was wearing
why
it.
y'all
Huh?
gotta draw the lines. Y'all gotta draw the lines. I have a really, really close friend that I work with, and I don't tell her about this show.
I don't blame you.
I don't.
Hmm.
You gotta draw lines when it comes to the people that you work with. And here at YouTube, we are colleagues.
Right.
Right. Your
So
peers.
the thing is though, you gotta understand though, and some of these
Well,
people
that's
are
the
like this
thing.
in real life though. They're just messy. They got drama with everybody in real life too.
Oh
Who's
shit!
that?
Don't work at a call
A
center.
lot of
Shit.
them.
Well, they were trying to work with Jag, and she did a Jag.
Well, what she would do
She's
is
not even.
she would pull up on their chats and try and take it over with her bullshit, and they was getting tired of it.
See, but
And
this is the
then
thing. Y'all gotta
when they
understand. You talking about two married people who are appear in the same home every time you see them. They're stable.
Exactly. She got
Why
her
would they
office,
even
and he got
connect with
his
her?
office.
Why wouldn't they see her as street fodder? As because they're that are they weren't that thirsty for people to
no,
No,
come to their
they
what
were they were
why would they
cool
even
with
allow her on their platform in that way?
they were
she
cool with
met her through Nosy.
right. They were cool with Nosy, and then Nosy would be on their panel. And then, like when she would talk about housewives and stuff, and that's how Jag got on there. And then she fell out with Nosy, and then she wanted to do something with Sherelle, and then Sherelle was like, she saw how unstable Jag was, and she saw that on when they were backstage, Jag doing allegedly, she said it's not allegedly, she will stand on it, Jag doing some
Cocaine.
lines.
Do
Yeah.
you
So
see Sherelle and Jaguar at Neiman Marcus together?
no, and that's
No.
the problem. So then when Sherelle's like, look, I'm not messing with you, then Jag did a Jag. We see how Jag spins out of control if you reject her.
Narcissistic bullshit.
But
Yep.
see, she thought Sherelle was a punk, is what it was. She thought because she's
Oh,
well sparked, spoken, and
cause she got class.
yeah, she's
Sherelle's like, I'm from
eloquent and
Detroit,
all that or
bitch.
whatever. She could just talk to her any kind of way, and
See, but the thing
Sherelle
is,
was
like,
giving her the business.
in order to move through this life successfully, many of us have learned you got to be who you got to be when you got to be who you got to be.
Yep.
Right.
And Jaguar is one dimensional. She's multi personality, but she's not functional. She
Right.
doesn't know how to code switch. She doesn't have any levels. She's a
Mm-mm.
raggedy
Right.
bitch. And she doesn't, the personalities come out, but she doesn't really have any persona, any charisma,
No,
any wit,
exactly.
any
I think
charm.
I think also too because she's not computer literate, so she's intimidated by that. So she rather just run up on somebody else's shit and run their channel into the
So
ground.
Law is teaching me this social media stuff because you can. But I study psychology as a hobby. Bitch, why don't you study computer stuff as a hobby?
Right.
Girl, why don't you
There are
study how to
literally
change your
free
pampers?
certifications on Google. SO certif We be having serious conversations and here come T Taylor baby talking about some
Sorry.
kiss our Converse.
No, because whenever she say a lie, I just be saying that like, girl, yeah, I
Girl,
just
that was
gotta hit her with
classy.
a, I gotta
We
hit
was
her with a
all
joke.
serious. We had just blown that bitch away and steamed her down the road. We sitting here huffing and puffing, and this heifer talking about some and kiss our Converse.
I love the last track, and I could watch that shit once a week.
You saw me put that in a clip for you too.
Mm-hmm.
You had me dying. I was like, we over here
Kiss
trying to
my
be serious with this
yeah, I sure
hoe.
did tell her to kiss my Converse. And then I
Kiss
heard
our
on that call she
Converse.
told that lady that UPS was hiring. She got that from me because I was lighting her ass up in that
You
chat.
sure
And she
were.
Oh wait,
I was
did
like,
you hear?
Amazon is hiring, UPS is hiring, USPS is
McDonald's.
Oh,
hiring,
that was
McDonald's is
you.
hiring, Starbucks is hiring. She was like, Miss
I
T
missed
Taylor.
all of that.
I
Man, that shit was
remember
funny.
that. I didn't realize that was you. And then
That
who
was
was she
me.
calling? Or at the police station, she's like, "Yeah, and be like Cece and keep on walking." I'm like, "Girl, you are so lame."
Girl.
That's why I said she needs to spend some time in the deep south so she can learn how to read. But I'm from Michigan. We read for fun. Like I
See,
told
and
y'all, my
that's
She
sister
what
don't
called
like
me
me.
fat, and I
Cause
told
I
her her
think she
husband
be
wanted to
on the
fuck me.
laugh, or she be like,
that's
"Damn, that was
that's
a good joke," and she be intimidated. Then she try and get more masculine, like "Fuck you, bitch,
But she
your
said
well.
she
mama
a
can go work at
songwriter. She don't know how to
UPS."
read.
Well, see, here's the thing: is that she thought, like Miss T Baby said, she thought she could punk Sherelle. Sherelle's like, "I'm from
Mhm.
Detroit, bitch," and she
Mhm.
was like,
And it's a
you know,
shame you got to talk to somebody like that because that was the thing when she came in on that live that Hear Her TV did. I was like, it's a shame I got to talk to you like this.
Here,
right?
let.
Because that's all
You my
she
fucking elder.
understands. That's all she understands
You
is
you my
ignorance.
damn elder. I just dropped the link again for you guys. You doggone elder.
Yeah, he
Wait, that's not the link.
only thing she would say about Sherelle, she kept calling her wig all of a sudden.
One
Everything was
read. And that
And
wig.
whole
called her a
hag read
hag.
turned around. It turned around back on her because your name can't be Jag, and you got them long titties and that big old belly with no waist trainer action happening on a daily basis. And you obviously
Girl.
need to douche, and your husband won't fuck you, but you sitting up calling somebody else a hag.
A hag and say her and Perry don't sleep in the same bed and Perry's her.
I
Do
don't
you
believe
realize
that.
that
That's
that's the
just
life?
that's
Do
a
you real my
rumor.
No, no, that's not a rumor. That's a real thing. That's how people stay married. My
I
mom and daddy
mean,
got
it's
friends who
possible.
don't
It's
sleep in the
possible.
same bed, either because somebody snores or somebody likes to
Yeah.
fight in they sleep, or some people. Do you realize that marriage is based on codependency?
Yeah.
People who are sound in and of themselves don't need to be married. So when
I
you
know.
live with the fact that you have to sleep in the same bed with somebody to be married is weird.
hmm I know when my
Because I
uncle got
enjoy my bed.
his apnea mask. That's when him and my aunt stopped sleeping in the same room because she said she
Yeah,
couldn't take it.
Well, my mom and
yeah.
dad, they sleep in the same room, but my mother's like, I would love my own bed because my dad'll put his elbow in her.
My dad, I done woke up. I called my parents one morning to wish them happy anniversary. Their wedding anniversary was Christmas Eve, and I asked my daddy. He answered the phone like, "Happy anniversary. What y'all doing?" He was like, "Well, your mama done stole all the covers and she opened the window."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and that's the same thing with them. It's so
You
funny. My
do,
parents,
Miss
my
Naders.
my parents have will be married 56 years this year. But
Oh,
and
that's
they're so
awesome.
funny, you know what I mean? But my grandparents slept in different bedrooms because my grandpa wanted one mattress, my grandma wanted another. My grandpa he has sleep apnea because before everybody had the machines. This is in 1986. You could hear him down the street.
Hmm.
But you know
So,
what, y'all? That gotta be a real thing because they have that sleep number bed
oh
for a
yeah, my
reason.
mother has
Well, I
sleep
mean, it
apnea.
is a real thing, but the thing is, you got to understand something. Okay, I'm gonna say what I think. Okay, I'm gonna say this: not all relationships in marriage are based on sex.
Exactly.
There are plenty of couples who stopped having sex a long time ago, but they love each other, they get along together, they're great friends. Just that phase of their relationship, they're still very much in love. They hug each other, they kiss each other goodbye, but it's not necessary for them. And
Yeah.
to be in, you got to understand, like, I'm 42 years old. I can't imagine sleeping in bed with somebody every night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm happy being able to stretch out and fart and stuff.
Girl, I love sleeping by myself.
Girl, I used to be happy when my ex would go to work. I, I be
Them
like,
niggas don't
oh,
even
thank
know.
you.
And
I
you
They
know
couldn't
don't
what?
wait
even
for the
know.
alarm clock to go the fuck
Look,
off. Like, ooh, thank you, Jesus. Thank
when
you.
Listen, and
when you
some people just
younger,
sleep with them with a whole second separate blanket because they just steal the
Heck
whole
yeah.
motherfucker. They don't
and
give
this
a
is
fuck
the thing.
about you. They
Look,
Mm-mm.
take that whole bitch with them.
when you younger and it's like you think it's cute to cuddle, girl, you get
It's hot. I don't
suffocated.
sleep in the bed with my daughter. We
You
used to when she
suffocate.
was little and we went on vacation. I would sleep in the bed with her because she liked to snuggle. But then as she got older, I was like,
Girl, get away from me.
I pay extra for a room with two beds when we go on vacation because that's just crazy to me.
Girl, I
Go over
feel
there.
you.
Go over
I
there.
can't stand that. Don't y'all hate that when when a nigga want to cuddle and shit, and you like, I'm hot. Like, give me a second. Let me turn
Girl,
the air on or something. No,
and
I
I'm
just
just
did
lay
having
all
hot
this
here.
work for
flashes.
you. I
You
just
know what I'm
did
saying? I'm
all this
like,
work
look,
for
look,
you.
I be having hot flashes now. If
Me
you don't want
too,
to see the
girl.
exorcist, you need to let me get up and go turn
I'm
this damn
telling you,
AC
my
on.
daughter almost got swallowed.
Girl.
That shit was taking too long. I almost went on down there and finished it up the way I know how. Listen,
You stupid.
we just got done
Mm-mm.
fighting the police for hours and hours. I'm ready to go to bed. Thank you. Come on.
Mm-mm.
She almost got swallowed.
I tell my mama that all the time. Like, you almost didn't have a grandbaby. She almost became another midnight snack.
No,
Mm-mm.
you didn't. You are
Mm-mm.
too much. I feel like I'm talking to my friends right now. Like,
Listen,
oh,
and I'm
girl,
trying to be respectful because you my elder, but I can't help it because this is my
I bet
house.
they probably
girl,
cracking up on
don't
her.
you call me your elder. I'm gonna slap you.
Okay, I won't. I promise I won't say
Yeah, I'm
it
gonna
again.
beat you up.
It's like
You're
auntie
only
talking
wait,
to her
aren't you in your
nieces.
40s?
It's
I'm
like it's
42.
like
Yes, ma'am.
it's like the cool auntie talking
Did
to
you
her
say yes,
nieces.
ma'am?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen. I see women in their 30s as younger girls, and I treat
No,
them a
I
certain
feel
way.
you. I feel you. But
There's a
I'm
certain
Mm-hmm.
amount,
I'm
that
cool.
like when I'm on vacation, a lot of those young girls attach to me because they think I'm a dyke. Well, I do a little bit, but not with no little girls. And so they'll attach to me
I
because they
said
think they're
what?
about to get some money or some drinks or some attention,
Girl,
and I be schooling them bitches.
No,
I
I
don't
feel you
listen.
that's what
though.
you're supposed to do.
I be
I
schooling
feel
them.
you. I feel you.
I be
But no,
telling them,
I mean,
watch when you get in the hot tub. All them women get out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
I be
you.
schooling them hoes. I be telling them how to move because I'm not about to exploit your lack of knowledge. People like people that are less powerful than them. They're looking for a partner.
I
These
feel
little
you.
young girls though, they making it hard for these young guys. They be acting like the money's just supposed to fall off a tree or out the fucking sky, or the nigga gonna be a successful rapper and
That's the
you know what I'm
girls
saying.
use
Encourage
Instagram.
him
Not
to go
all
to
young
school
girls
or
are
something. Like
but
what
not
are
all
y'all
young
doing,
girls. That's that Instagram shit. A lot of young girls under.
girl?
Yeah.
Do you know how many
I
young girls are
cannot.
with broke niggas?
Girl, my little cousins, I'm so proud of them. Well, one's an entrepreneur. She was on, two of them were on Black Ink Chicago.
Oh.
One of them, her name is Charmaine, and she and her husband have a sea moss company, and then
Ooh.
they're doing all this other stuff. You know, they moved out to LA now, and she wrote a
Oh, really?
children's book. Yeah, she wrote a children's book, and they do a show on YouTube. It's called
Mm.
Marriage or Mirage, and I'm just so proud of her. Um,
You related to her?
that's
It's her
my
niece.
cousin.
Oh, I'm
That's
Oh,
my
sorry.
that's
cousin.
oh, okay.
And
So
then my other cousin Danielle, she was on there.
yeah.
And she's doing well. She's married. She's doing well for herself. She was a teacher and
Mm.
everything, and her husband's not a little broke. They never had like unrealistic expectations. And then my
Mhm.
little cousin Kara, who's Danielle's sister, she
Mhm.
got her master's, what am I trying to say, in nursing, so she could be a nurse practitioner, and she just got engaged. So and
Mhm.
I'm proud of them, because I do see these little girls on TikTok or Instagram who have unrealistic expectations, that think
No
I could
goals
be a
at all.
IG model, and I could get a dude
Mhm.
that's an up and coming rapper, and that's it.
Well,
Or
I
the,
think the
and if
reason
you
why
do
those
get
images
them, you
are
gonna be sharing
popular,
them.
I think the reason why those images are popular is because they're uncommon. Because literally, most you notice that we aren't what you see in the media about black women. We're normal, regular black women, but
Yes,
we're not going to make television pop. Okay. So,
right.
like, a lot
Mhm.
of times when we see those little clips about them little gold digging girls, that's because it's not every girl to think like that. That bitch got caught up
That's
because she's
true.
stupid. To be honest with you, I
Mhm.
mean, most girls you got to tell, shouldn't that nigga be buying you some chips or something? She be like, he love
Right.
me. He stay on the phone with me all night. That's because it's free.
Right.
Right. Hello.
A lot of girls will be with a man because
He
women
be
don't.
at my
A lot
house
of girls
all the
aren't raised.
time.
Yeah, women aren't
He
raised
get dinner with me
hypergamously
and my
anymore.
mama all every night.
Like
Yeah, fuck both
we
of
go to
y'all.
Red Lobster every week,
I love me some Red
Mhm.
girl.
Lobster. I don't care what you say. If a
No,
man
but
took
I'm
me to Red
I
saying,
Lobster, I'd be
love
like,
Red
you must know
Lobster.
me. You must know
I
me because
no,
I
but what
love
I
Red
I'm
love
Lobster.
saying
Red
is
Lobster. It's around the
they.
corner from my house too.
I'm not saying. Look, I like Red Lobster. I like Olive
I
Garden,
don't like Olive
but
Garden though. It don't
you
taste like
don't.
nothing. I
I
don't
I
well,
like
smell
I
their
don't.
nothing.
potato
Now,
soup.
I'll go to Olive Garden and get some calamari, a salad, and a bottle of wine.
No, calamari salad, soup, and breadsticks.
And the
And I like
breadsticks, yeah. They've been
I like
slacking on
when
them
they had,
breadsticks.
Fresh hot breadsticks
They
sticks
yes,
don't
and I
too.
marinate
like
the flour no more or something.
what?
They did change the color. I thought so. They was kind of a little
Them
bland
breadsticks be
last
bland
time.
as fuck lately. They don't marinate the flour or
I
put no
haven't
they
been
don't
there
season
in
the
a
flour.
while.
Yeah, I've been there recently and it seems they don't season the flour. Like it used to be when you bit into a Olive Garden
It was
breadstick,
like
it
But
garlic,
wasn't
that's
just
price
the
cuts
oil
from the
on the
pandemic.
outside.
and there was
Hmm.
garlic.
There was flavor like oil on the in the bread, like
Yeah,
texture.
It's
and
a
it's
lot of
not.
restaurants that don't use. They don't use
It
green
feel like
onion
a Sam's
anymore.
Club breadstick.
Don't
I
say
know what you're
that.
saying. They
I
don't
don't want
use
to
green
hear that.
onion. They don't.
But
Some
you
of them
ain't
don't use
never. But listen,
garlic.
Olive Garden don't cook nothing. You ain't Olive Garden is not Maggiano's or Del Frisco's or anywhere
Oh
like
no,
that
it's
Right,
where they
definitely not.
actually
No,
right.
make
no, no,
food to
no,
order.
no.
No,
But
I no.
it's a.
Well, let
I like
Jag
the
tell it. That's
soup.
not probably a 6-star restaurant. Fuck a five.
I'm mad that they
I want to
took
see Jaguar
away.
cook.
I'm mad that they took
You
away
didn't
the
see that
stuffed
plate of slop?
mushrooms. They
They
took
don't have
away
stuffed
the
mushrooms anymore. Where
no because
Red,
of
Red Lobster?
COVID. No, no, Olive Garden took away the stuffed mushrooms because of COVID, and they took away the mushroom ravioli, and that's what I used to get.
Mm.
I used to get the stuffed mushrooms and the calamari,
Tyranny.
or
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can get
or
that same food at Costco. We just came to that
well, I'm
understanding.
just saying when we went to Olive Garden, that was my go-to because, like you said, I like the pastas and stuff. It's nothing to me. Like you
I
might as well
Yeah.
open a jar of Prego. Is
I
as
used to eat
far
at Olive Garden all the time until I
It's
realized
too.
that dressing was
That
at
it's too
fries.
heavy. It's
The
too much
dressing is at
food.
Albertsons. You can get the Olive Garden dressing at Albertsons. I didn't feel the need to keep going after that. I'll go buy one gigantic olive
Mm-hmm. No,
and
you
put it in my
stupid.
salad. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
do. They give you one huge, gigantic, abnormally chicken-sized olive, and
You
Mm-hmm.
then
said chicken size. Well,
all
I
that
I
cheese.
love one thing I love about living in
That's
Chicago is
awesome.
that there's so many different restaurants.
Oh.
You know,
That's what I love
so
about Southern California.